Hi, my name is Heather Phillips, and today I am here to share my technology toolbox with you through a Prezi. So first, about this toolbox, all of my images will have their citations. If you click right on the image, you'll see that citation. The first trend that I would like to share a tool for is deeper learning approaches. Deeper learning requires educators around the world to focus on their learning strategies such that students can lead their own inquiry. And the first tool is TED-Ed, Lessons Worth Sharing. And you can find that at the website ed.ted.com. These are lessons that allow students to pace or guide their own learning. They're interactive so that you ensure engagement. They have quality videos available. You can even upload your own video. Students' interests are the driving force behind Dig Deeper selections. I will share that with you in a moment. Connect several online tools, and the cost is free. When you get into the website, you can view the TED-Ed lessons, and as I said, you can adapt them. You can certainly create your own lesson. In my sample lesson, I have an adapted one that I made for math anxiety. So I took their lesson, just adapted it to my students. You can type in this paragraph up here above the video, have them watch the video. After watching the video, they can answer a few questions, which I selected myself. Here's that Dig Deeper section. These links all bring you outside of what they're reading about. So it extends at different places for you to look at, like learn about many women in mathematics here. So you could click that link. So it's going to bring you completely out of what you were looking at to something that might interest the students, and they get to choose that. There's a blogging section, and then finally they have extension sections for them to get started. In this case, I just added some mathematics testing blueprints to have discussions about and some sample questions for the students. This page, there is an article about TED-Ed's programs and initiatives with links to the TED-Ed website, and then a video about how to make a TED-Ed lesson. So if you clicked on that video, you would be able to watch it. Of course, we're not going to. So next is also a deeper learning approach, and this would be Nearpod.com. Nearpod is an opportunity for you to create interactive lessons or adapt them to ensure engagement. You can add interactive features such as virtual field trips, 3D objects. What's great about this one is there's assessment components, quizzes, polls, open-ended questions, data that you can collect. And then it connects several online tools as well. You can be using a phone, or your students are using iPads, or they're using Chromebooks. And because it is web-based, but they also have an app. It's free, or for just a couple of the slides, or you can upgrade so that you can have as many of them as you want. Because it's cloud-based, they're synchronized and controlled lessons, or you can set the students free and set it up so that they're doing it in like a flipped class. The responses could be live, or you can get them through a post-assessment. If you were to click on my library, you would see two, one that I created and one that I adapted. So the created one is pretty neat. You can take a look at that, but I'm going to share with you the adapted one just briefly. It gives you the opportunity to see the different types of things that you can do. And this was created as a PD for us to teach us about it. And so I just adapted in my classroom to teach my students about the different tools. So you would be able to see, here's a poll that you could ask. It's a quick poll to let them think about it. You can ask other questions in it. You can give them things for notes. There's a way to watch videos through it, a questions and answer section, but you kind of swipe and force them to go along with it. And you could also take their responses and share them on the board. So it's pretty neat, but it forces them to kind of read and you discuss it as a class. Like I had mentioned before, it also has the opportunity for you to mark on it. And then when the students send their answers in, you can share that with the whole class. Here's a section where they have a video attached, and you would be able to watch that video as well. I know I flipped through that kind of fast. It's something that you want to take a look at on your own. I do have, I attached a link for a Nearpod tutorial. This tutorial helped me make mine to adapt it for my classroom as well. And then the additional resources I have, one is an overview plus some information about ratings. And then the other is a discussion on how Nearpod has changed the view of mobile devices instead of being a distraction to being a tool. My next trend is collaborative learning. Students' learning is optimized when experiencing a blend of cooperative and individual work. And this tool would be the Mathematics Assessment Resource Service, which is MARS. Part of the Math Design Collaborative initiated by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. The tools are relevant for any curriculum. Of course, they're centered around math. They're collaborative lessons. They deepen the students' understanding because you're applying them to real-life examples. They have an extensive set of exemplar summative assessment tasks and lessons, and it is also free. You find it at the link Math Map Shell. This is where I have my detailed lesson plan so that you could take a look at how you would use one of these in the classroom. So we'll take a peek at that. It has goals on it, the common standards, introductions, materials. It even gives you the pre and post assessment, what to look for if there's some common issues, which helps grouping students based on their misconceptions. It walks you through some scripted what you could say if you wanted to. But what I really like about it is it has a general form. So my students know we do several of these a grading period. It's a requirement in our district, 7 through 12. This is the very first one that they did at the beginning of the year. It starts off with a group discussion, a pre-test that they do, just a small pre-test, which helps you place students based on their misconceptions, not on their mathematic ability. You work as a class to answer a few questions and little mini lessons. Students work together collaboratively, and then they work together as a whole class. Then you come back for a whole class discussion before they are post-tested. It usually works well if you do it two-thirds of the way through a unit. It's a great collaboration tool. The link that I gave on this one is a link that provides more information about the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation that was created as a movement, a way to help low-income and minority students prepare for college. There's also a video here of another teacher's story with using MDC in her classroom. So another link that you could click on if you wanted to see it. My next one covers the emerging trend student as a creator. Student-led lesson planning was a successful tool for promoting creativity and engagement while bolstering student understanding of complex concepts. And I chose S'more for this. They have free and upgraded versions. It's user-friendly, web-based. It allows you to create digital flyers, newsletters, announcements, invitations. There's several ways to publish and distribute it. You can send it through social media. It was started off as a business application, but now it's so popular with educators. They created an educator hive where you can collaborate among educators and use these as snapshots for students making snapshots. You can also provide parents with information, which one of my articles specifically talks about. There's a mini PD that I designed for our school to share it with my colleagues, and basically it just tells you how to get started with S'more, how to do a couple of the basic features, and you can watch that online if you're interested. As I had mentioned, one of the articles is about how you can use it more than just a digital tool. That's the second link there. It talks about how you can use it to connect with the parents in the community through newsletters. And then the other one is an overview of how teachers can just use S'more other than as just a digital online print. The next trend that I wanted to cover was gamification, and the gaming industry is producing a steady stream of games that continue to expand in their nature and impact. They can be artistic, social, collaborative, with many allowing massive numbers of people from all over the world to participate simultaneously. So my favorite for this is BuzzMath. It's free, but you can get upgraded versions, but I've never even considered the upgrade version. There's so much with it free. User-friendly, web-based, middle school mathematics practice aligned with the Common Core. You can have unlimited access from any device. Another site I like is IXL, but you are limited, and it's per device. But this one has detailed solutions, on-demand examples, and detailed reporting tools. So that's buzzmath.com. I have attached an article for BuzzMath that's detailed understanding of how your brain is connected to engagement through gaming, ways to use game mechanics to enhance e-learning, and as well as a tutorial for how to use BuzzMath. And then the last trend that I looked at is gamification with a growing focus on measuring learning. According to Freeman et al., when learning analytics is paired with formative assessment, it will provide multiple insights on student progress and determine gaps in knowledge, which, because I teach in a co-teaching setting, I'm very concerned with. So this is Kahoot.com. And it's got real-time questions. You can create them. You can adapt them. It has a lot of social elements to it. It's very easy to use, fun for students. Their claim to fame is that they connect your hand, your heart, and your mind because it encourages engagement compared to quizzes because you have to look up at the board and participate as a whole. I use it kind of like I would use the smart responders in my classroom. It has data analysis component to it where you can collect the data either while you're right after. You can use it as an entry or exit ticket in your classroom, a quick formative assessment, take a look at the results, and then know who you have to talk with. And what's most exciting, because we're very Google Classroom this year in our district, it works well with Google Classroom. There's a video here, a mini PD that I made. Unfortunately, it moves very quickly because I couldn't figure out how to slow it down. So finally, there is a link to learn how Kahoot works. It's an article where you can get inspired by ways to incorporate it into your classroom from all different areas. And then the last section is my references. And there it is. Thanks for taking the time to look. I hope that you have a chance to explore and you find something new and interesting for yourself. Have a great day.